went to a big high school. There were like 3,500 students there. Surely I am not the outlier in this formula. Why are none of you attractive? By the time I was going...
This video we're going to check out is Being Not Straight by Jaiden Animations. By the title, you see the rainbow flag. So, and the title is Being Not Straight. So in a way, this is, oh snap, I did spoil. I'm sorry. So in a way, this is, a coming out story. The fact that she titled it Being Not Straight, I don't know if it's like a thing about not yet feeling comfortable saying what she is, or if she just didn't want to title the video that, you know, where that lies. Because I do know that there are a lot of different identities, right? In regards to the sexual orientation, right? And then what people want to be labeled, or which group they want to be a part of. But there is a group that I know that even though they may fit into like a certain group, like I know there's like a lesbian that she is a lesbian, but she doesn't like the label of lesbian, right? Actually, she doesn't like any labels. So not even like lesbian or anything in like any of the other letters in the alphabet. She doesn't like to be labeled as, you know, binary, non-binary. Like she doesn't like any labels at all. So I don't know if that's a similar thing that we're gonna see here, but we're gonna check it out. Link is in the description box below. Let's get started.
Okay, before I even say anything,
Okay,
let's lay out some ground rules.
Oh, okay.
This is
all right.
probably gonna be
Just
the
jumped
most
in.
open
All right.
I'll ever get about my personal life. I know I've shared tidbits of myself.
That's true. She's not a very
stories, but when it comes
deep
to personal stuff,
into
I'm
her
very
personal.
private. Especially within the past few years. I'm going to be talking in very general surface level terms because specific personal details are for me to know. And in the nicest way possible, none of your business. Basically, this is something I want to talk about, share, and bring a spotlight to.
Okay.
But at the same time, you get the Cliff Notes version. So no trying to assume.
The music in the
guess
background
kind of
sounds like
I'm
Zelda.
sharing within this video. At the end of the day, we're all just strangers refusing to listen to the stranger danger rule. All right, formalities aside, let's get into it.
Let's
I've come to realize that I'm aro-ace, which stands for aromantic asexual. And I know what you're thinking. That's not gay. What the hell is that? And you know what? That is completely fair because I didn't know what that was either.
Hopefully she
aromantic
explains.
and asexual are two different things, and I'm gonna break them down to you separately.
Oh, aromantic. I thought she was saying aromantic.
Really knows what that one is. And also, it's my personal favorite. Someone who's aromantic is defined as a person who feels very little to no romantic attraction to anyone at all. So, like, they might not develop crushes on people or feel the need to be in a romantic relationship with anyone. Very general terms, but hopefully you kind of get the gist. If not,
I understand.
Here's a little story example from me. Growing up, I never developed crushes on anyone. I remember when I was in 5th grade, kids were talking about their crushes left and right, and it was starting to feel like something I had to experience too. Just because I thought that's just what happens. Don't make fun of 9-year-old me. I was a sheep. Anyway, I decided I needed to have a crush.
You're a kid.
That's just what happens to people. And I very robotically chose this random kid in the class who we can call Pikachu. That's not his name. He didn't mean anything to me, and I didn't do anything about this crush. Like, I didn't tell anyone or anything. It was just a headcanon thing for me to feel up to speed and like I was hitting my normal human emotions quota.
Persona.
It's funny because on Valentine's Day, you know how in elementary school everyone would bring cheesy Walmart Valentine's cards for everyone in the class, and then you'd have a box full of candy and hollow emotions from everyone.
Oh dear. Yeah, but I liked it.
Did that. When I went through my box, I pulled out Pikachu's Valentine and thought to myself, someone who has a crush on someone.
Wait, what does the card say? I want to know what the card said. Hold on, let's see that card again.
When I went through my box, I pulled out Pikachu's Valentine and thought to myself,
get the signal? Be my Valentine, okay. Why is he a fat Batman? Why do we have a fat Batman here with this card? That's cute, that's funny.
Someone who has a crush on someone would
keep the card, throw the card away. eat the card.
So I put Pikachu's copy-paste Batman Valentine in my drawer and promptly forgot about it because it meant nothing to me, but hey, that's just what I thought I was supposed to do. Man, I'm so good at this. Then like a year or so later when my mom was going through my room, she pulled out the card and was like, why do you have this? And I was like, honestly, I have no idea. Years passed, I entered junior high and thought to myself,
okay, so when she had so she just chose a crush, not that she actually had a crush. She just chose she just chose somebody in her class to have a crush on because she felt like that's what she needed to do. Okay, I get it. Okay. Shout out to Raven Player 3 for the follow, and then also shout out to Aunt Wilson, Aunt Twin Wilson. Thank you for cheering your bits. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, this is the time where people start developing crushes and then do something about it. Like get into
They're a little bit more active.
Or something. So I was like preparing to be interested in people. On the first day of school, I scoped out the room to see if there was anyone that I thought looked like someone I could develop a crush on. And this was when classes started being divided up into periods. So there were like 6 batches of people I sifted through, but no one caught my eye.
Wait,
and I thought,
not like
man,
hold on.
Unlucky.
Not like you know, like when so there was this show on Netflix where it was I think it was like Indian arranged marriages where it follows this lady. She's like a matchmaker. That's what she was. She was a matchmaker in India. And like families would use her, right? They would have her come and then actually essentially have catalogs of potential partners for the son or daughter of the family that people, because most times than not, it was like the parents that were hiring her for their son or their daughter. Occasionally, it would be the person wanting to find a love, so they'd have her match them with somebody. But more times than not, it was the parents. So she would have like a catalog of potential suitors for the whoever it is that the client is, right? So that's what this made me think of when she said that, you know, basically her classes were like 6 batches of potential partners for this, you know, high school crush.
Went through the whole school year. Next year rolled around, classes changed. I did the same potentials crush scoping again. And the same thing happened. I wasn't drawn to anyone at all. Man. Unlucky again. Every year I thought something would change, especially going into high school when people started actually hitting puberty and were getting conventionally attractive. But my entire school life, grades kindergarten to senior year, which I'm pretty sure is like 13.
What is unique, because I mean, we are learning about this, right? Because I've never heard of aromantic. I have heard of asexual before, but I have not heard of aromantic. So having an aromantic person, like kind of explaining, you know, the thought process of having to, of kind of like looking and making it a potential thing, you know, like on, because I've had crushes before and they've been on accident. Like I don't know if I've ever like forced or pushed myself to have a crush on anybody. So it's interesting to hear that perspective of being someone who's like, hey, let me see who I could potentially have a crush on, like putting more intention behind that, you know?
Years, I wasn't interested in a single person throughout any of it. And what's funny was I was thinking, man, what's the deal? Why is no one attractive? And I went to a big high school. There were like 3,500 students there. Surely I am not the outlier in this formula. Why are none of you attractive? By the time I was going to college, I really felt like I had to find someone. It felt like I was falling behind the curve, or if I was going to find someone, it was going to have to happen now. I made a lot of new friends, and that's when I thought I developed my first genuine crush. Long story short, in hindsight, no, it wasn't a crush, and I was just wrong.
That's hilarious.
I just met someone who I thought was cool and funny and had a really strong desire to be close to them. But looking back, knowing what I do now, it wasn't in a romantic way. I realized I can get very excited and tunnel vision on people I think are really cool or interesting, and kind of obsess over getting to know them or just want to spend a lot of time with them.
I can
but
get
whenever
that.
I got into those tunnel vision
by
moments,
somebody.
if I sat down and asked myself if I actually wanted to be in a relationship with them and hold hands or cuddle or kiss, the answer was not really, but if they wanted to, I could go along with it. which I do not think is right.
No.
In my very old flirting video, which I refuse to rewatch, I think at one point in it, I said something along the lines of, if you're interested in someone but they just want to be friends, I don't understand why some people can't deal with that. And that was primarily because I didn't realize there was an emotion.
Wait, if you're interested in someone and they just want to be friends, oh, you don't really see there's a problem with that? Okay, yes, I understand. Because essentially being friend zoned is what you're saying. Like if you like somebody and then you end up getting friend zoned, I can understand how she doesn't have a problem with that, right? Because she's aromantic and asexual. However, if you have a desire to be intimate with somebody, right? Whether that's kissing or making out or, plus ultra, right? If you have like a desire to do any of those things, then yes, it definitely could be like heartbreaking being put in the friend zone, and kind of like on a backup roster. Like if they're drunk one night and they're really, really feeling things, they want to get a little spicy, then they want to call you. That sucks. That sucks.
Difference between a crush or falling in love and just being really good friends with someone. So, oops, sorry for the bad take, I think. I really just thought having a crush on someone was wanting to be their number one best friend. Look, I said don't make fun of me. To me, it used to feel like if I was wanting to become friends with someone to that high of a degree, that would be the next step or justify why I wanted to put this much time, effort, and energy into one person. And it didn't feel right or even fair going through all of this with someone and then tell them they're just a friend. I don't know. It just didn't feel like it made sense, even though I really didn't technically see them in a romantic way. I just didn't understand what was going on really, or that there was supposed to be real emotions instead of a logical understanding of steps. And the fact that I was under the assumption that I was supposed to be interested in people in a romantic way didn't help with anything. I always preferred to stay good friends, but never felt like I could have that. And I worried that if I said no, that we would just start drifting apart, which I obviously didn't want either. It's been a very long journey discovering this about myself. Everything I'm saying has all been extremely subconscious and not understood or defined for many years. I even used to think I was bi or pan for the longest time because I would think to myself, well, bi is being interested in both genders. I don't really care for either, but 0 is equal to 0, so I guess I'm bi or pan.
She's like, well, okay. She's like, that's normally you like both of them, but I don't really care for either one of them. Whomever's up for it, I don't really care. That's hilarious.
Man. I got math involved. If I knew what aromanticism was...
hold on. Take it back. Because then, did you say 0 plus 0 equals 0? Okay, hold on.
I don't really care for either, but 0 is equal to 0, so I guess I'm bi or pan.
That's so hilarious. I do appreciate her candidness and being honest with her, like, experience and, like, her navigating these waters. Because the thing that a lot of people, well, we all need to remember and think about, like, during these years, right? There's a lot going on from middle school to adulthood. There's a lot going on. You've got puberty, you've got social norms, you've got family life, you've got school, you've got, I gotta get to college, and I gotta pass, finals to go to high school, and then finals to go to college. You have a lot of things that are going on in your mind on top of the social pressure, especially when you have like all your friends getting with people. So I can understand her being in a mindset of this is the normal thing that's supposed to be happening. So she's really trying to figure out why it's not really falling like that for her, like it's not falling in that same path. So, but it is funny having her say, I don't really care for either. 0 equals 0, so I've got to be that. Like, it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
I got math involved. If I knew what aromanticism was when I was growing up, things would have been a lot less complicated for me a lot sooner. I think it's mainly because people don't really talk about it or even know what it is or that it's real. Romance and love is the number one most talked about topic on the planet. Everything I've been taught or learned through society is that love and romance is everywhere. Everyone feels
they threw it at our
and
face.
It's gonna happen to you. Just a funny little note. There was a point where I was listening to some generic romance song on the radio. Like all of them.
So
and I just suddenly thought to myself, wait, do people actually feel these things towards each other?
Yes.
Like, all these mushy lyrics are real emotions.
Be mine, baby, the cuddle kid.
They're not joking. And that's when I started feeling like something was different. I approached romance under the blanket term thought of, sure, why not?
Like,
and didn't recognize it was actually a feeling, which might sound stupid, but look, I don't know. No one presented me with any other options. I did a lot of rationalizing. If someone ever expressed romantic interest in me, I would mentally make a kind of logical list of their pros and cons and the pros and cons of what a relationship would look like with them based on what I knew about them as a person.
Dear,
I didn't realize there was supposed to be an extra, like, excited feeling, or the fact that you're not supposed to think about it as if it were a business exchange.
Right,
I understand
that's
compatibility is a
what you're
huge
not supposed
important
to do.
variable when it comes to sharing a relationship with someone, but at the end of the day, it's still apparently still a very emotionally driven thing.
Yeah.
And I literally had to make that discovery and teach it to myself. Now, I'm gonna talk about being asexual very briefly, and I'm gonna preface it with, let's all just be mature about this, all right? We're all pretending to be adults here. I've got my eye on some of you.
Okay.
Behave. Okay, this is definitely treading into uncomfortable personal boundary territory for me.
What is gonna happen?
But yeah, I do want to share that I'm asexual too, which is defined as someone who feels little to no intimate attraction to anyone.
Oh, sexual attraction.
Look, I know we said we're all adults, but I'm still gonna dance around the vocabulary, all right?
Okay.
Yes, there's a difference between romantic and intimate attraction. Little side note, I will say you can experience romantic attraction to someone but no intimate attraction, or you can experience intimate attraction but no romantic attraction.
Right.
You can be one and not the other.
So I know I am familiar with, like, people, you know, wanting to have sex with somebody and maybe not being romantically into them. Oh, you know what? I was gonna say that I didn't know of a case of somebody who was into somebody romantically but not into them sexually. But then I remembered Love is Blind, the latest season. I didn't see the first season. I only saw the second season. But in that season, there was a guy who was romantically in love with a girl, right? And was saying how she's the best, all this stuff about her. But then he was saying how he was not sexually attracted to her. Now I get it. Now seeing that, like, you can, because I mean he's got a lot of problems, right? We're not going to get into him, but now I see where it all kind of like, okay, this makes sense. I can see it. Shout out to Drea for being a sub, a tier 1 sub. Thank you so much for subbing. Shout out to you. I will get these alerts fixed. I don't know what's going on with them, but we'll get those alerts fixed. But lang, shout out to Drea. Okay. Shout out to you, Drea.
It's not necessarily a package deal. Most people feel both, and I do not feel either. Anyway, I have never been magnetically attracted to the look or shape of a single person in my entire life, and did not realize it was a real thing until very recently. I'm able to identify when someone looks conventionally attractive, like by textbook definition, but I never realized people are genuinely drawn to people they think are attractive. I didn't know that people could just see someone.
Okay, yes, because there is a difference between noticing that someone is attractive and being attracted to somebody. There is a difference with that. And that's, celebrities are like the perfect case, right? Where there are a bunch of celebrities that I can be like, okay, that person's attractive, but I'm not attracted to them. Or like in situations, oh, shout out to Drea, shout out to you, lang. Shout out to you for gifting 10 subs. If you received a sub from Drea, make sure you say thank you in the chat, please. Thank you, Drea. Yes, and use your emotes, peeps. Shout out to Drea. Thank you so much. We'll use the hype emote. I don't have the slot yet to add lang. So yes, for those who just received a sub, make sure you shout out Drea. Not trying to interrupt. No, thank you. I just want your community to go. Thank you. No. Don't apologize. Thank you so much. Thank you. But yes, there is a difference between, like, with celebrities, right, where you can, or not even just using celebrities. I remember in school there was a guy, he was what, right, what, and I was there was a moment where I was attracted to him. Then I talked to him and I was like, oh, he's like dumb. He was like really 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 dumb. Oh, that's a cute emote. Yeah, so okay, so that's, I don't know what that is. I don't know. We're gonna put this right over here because I don't know what that is. But I'm glad that it shows up. At least something shows up. Okay, we're just gonna leave it be. Just enjoy it while it's there. But yeah, he was like dumb. He was like really really dumb. And so I could. That's when it switched. That's when I'm not attracted to you, but I can see how people are attracted to you because you are an attractive person. I'm just not attracted to you. I need more than that.
And be like, wow, they're gorgeous. I would love to get to know that person, or maybe go on a date with them, or whatever else you people do. I didn't think it was real. I thought people were exaggerating or something. I don't know. And I also couldn't believe that some people feel that with multiple people. Or like celebrities, which sounds absolutely exhausting. It ties back to when I was in school, like looking around for people to like. It makes sense now that no one caught my eye because that doesn't happen to me. I was just wasting my time for 13 years. I feel like such a fool. Now, there's an easy assumption to make about asexual people and that they all have zero interest in being intimate with anyone at all, which actually isn't true. Some of them are genuinely turned off by it, and some aren't. Some reasons would be that they just don't mind it, or they want to make their partner happy, or enjoy the emotional closeness of it. There's a million different reasons and a million different people. Am I sharing what kind of a people I am? Nope. And you don't know me personally enough in the slightest to be able to try and parasocially analyze where I stand on that spectrum. I'm just here to say I am this. We are moving on. When I stumbled onto the term aroace and started realizing I fall into that category, it helped me feel much more confident and sure of myself. I've read a lot about how people say they felt broken or that something was wrong with them. But honestly, I was the complete opposite. Coming from my very biased perspective, I think aroace is one of, if not the coolest and most confident orientations out there. Not needing a single gram of romantic or intimate validation from anyone is so cool. All you need is yourself to be happy, maybe friends and family too, and birds. The more I came to terms with the fact I'm aroace, the more empowered and capable I felt.
That's good.
But at the same time, I was also starting to feel more alone and isolated. As cool and amazing and unique and awesome as I think it is, it can be really hard for other people to relate to or even understand. Everyone else and their orientations are able to bond and relate to the love and romance aspects, and we're over here like, we don't do that. I don't even know if I'm explaining it very well. It kind of does go against everything everyone's ever been taught about anything. Romance is taught to be a basic assumed emotion, which I do think is a bit misleading. A common argument used against the aroace orientation is that romance and intimacy is what makes someone human. But I mean, I don't know, lots of birds mate for life, which is a better ratio than people, and all animals get frisky. You know, that's just how they became not extinct. It's not a...
Is that a thing they teach, that being romantic is like a way that you're human? Because if that's the case, then I mean, I feel like there's other things that make you human, like compassion, kindness, things like that, other things of the heart that don't necessarily relate to your romance. The thing where I can feel like there may be, excuse me, I don't want to say concern or like issue, but like I can understand someone saying, like, not really understanding what it's like to not be attracted to anybody, right? So I can understand there being an inability to relate or have a shared conversation. Excuse me. Because I mean, I was boy crazy when I was in elementary school. I had like a secret folder full of like Justin Timberlake pictures, like from in like JC Chess 8, mostly Justin though. Okay, but like I had some J14 stuff in there, you know. Yeah, that magazine's still around, right? But like, you know, boy bands and stuff like that, and then you had the not Batman. Oh gosh, I'm still on Batman. The Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC beef and all that stuff, and I was definitely in there. Yeah, it's giving Turning Red. Yes, I was definitely boy crazy then. So to like to be in this situation or have this conversation, and you know what's a good video that I definitely want to check out. I know somebody that is asexual, and she made a video, so I do want to check it out and kind of learn more from her point of view. But that would be my personal like about that, because I understand gay, I understand lesbian, I understand bisexual, I understand pan, you know. I just asexual is one that it's hard for me to understand, because even all of the other letters, right, is about who you're attracted to. That's like the whole premise of it, right? It's about who you're attracted to, right? Your sexual orientation based on what you are attracted to. And so for asexual to be the absence of attraction, or not being like, aromantic is not to be romantically attracted to people, right? Or romantically intimate with people. Asexual, does that mean that you're not I have to learn more. That's the part that I don't understand, right? But I do want to understand. So I'll watch my friend's video and see as she explains more of it, you know.
Exclusive to humans thing. If I were to guess, I would assume the thing that makes someone human is basic empathy. Like, I'm not an emotionalist monster.
Empathy,
I can still
kindness.
love people. I love my family and my pets, just platonically.
Mm-hmm.
And I would hope that you're the same. I just don't experience romantic
They were all
love,
angry
which,
looking.
I don't know. I don't think that's harming anyone. Definitely not me. I'm having the time of my life. I don't think you need to be in a relationship.
I'm glad that she's
to be
happy about it.
And if you don't want to be just on your own, I think there's many types of people in relationships that push the boundaries of what a conventional relationship looks like. Telling someone that they need to be in a romantic relationship to be happy and fulfilled is weird. And then when that person says they're not happy, they're told relationships take a lot of work and that's just how it goes. And that's also weird. I don't know. I also think it's weird that
I would say, okay, that one's a little general, right? Because here's the thing. Oh, okay. So arrow, you said lack of a romantic attraction. Ace, lack of sexual attraction. You're right. Arrow ace is lack of both. Yes. So, okay. In this situation, that statement of like when someone says that they're not happy in a relationship and they're like, relationships take a lot of work, that one's a little bit of a general statement, because relationships do take a lot of work, especially if you're in marriage, right? If you're not happy or your spouse is not happy, like, you can be married and let's say you have that amazing romantic moment at the beginning of your relationship, and then you guys fall in love, and then you get married, you know, and then you're living with this person for however long. You will have a moment or a few moments, let's just be honest, a bunch of moments where you or the other one is not happy. It's not all rainbows and butterflies when you get married, so you do have to work at it. But there's a difference between having romantic feelings for people or having sexual attraction for people and the relationship not really working versus not having those things, or like a lack of those things, you know? So that statement, we just got to tune a little bit.
Once someone reaches a certain age, people inherently start thinking it's sad they're not in a romantic relationship, or assume they're lonely and sad. No one thinks a child is sad and lonely just because they're not in a long-term relationship.
That's also true.
I don't know. I don't get it. And I also think I'm rambling. At the end of the day, it's all very complicated to talk about these things, especially because I don't know the feelings I'm supposed to be feeling, let alone talk about. I just know for me, the terms aromantic and asexual are able to articulate things I was subconsciously feeling and thinking before I even realized I was feeling and thinking them. I love when the shirt comes together. I don't plan on talking about this very much, if at all, ever again. I just want to play my silly little video games, maybe tell a story here or there. But I wanted to bring the orientations to the surface and try to get more representation out there, because I thought if I could help more people become more aware of this, then that would be awesome. I was confused as hell for a while and could have used something like this. It's a real thing. You don't have to feel any sort of romance or whatever to be considered a real person. Aww. Personally, I think it's really cool and badass. And don't be afraid to look more into aromanticism or asexualism if any of what I said in this video resonated with you to any degree. Like I said, this is all very surface level stuff. They're both much larger spectrums than you'd think, and maybe you fall under some umbrella category with them. I don't know. Or not. Either way, this has all been my personal experience with this stuff. Is there more for me to figure out?
I love that she has had video game music throughout the background of this whole thing.
It can get pretty complicated and confusing. Haha, awesome. Will I be sharing any of that with you? Nope, no way. This is all you get. Hope you can understand even just a little of what I talked about. And if not, that's totally fine. I just hope you can be nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
That's all.
I never really intended.
That's all, you know. And that's all anybody, you know, really wants, right? Just be nice and try to be understanding, at least, you know. I'm happy that she was able to come out with like her, and A is on there because it's LGBTQIA, so that it's on there. So now I understand the title called Being Not Straight, because some people don't consider asexual as gay, but it's on the, you know, it's a part of the letters that are there. But because there are some people that that don't really know where they kind of should stand or land. Now I understand why she titled it Being Not Straight. Not that she doesn't want labels. She has labels. She embraces her labels, which that's another amazing thing. The fact that she's like, hey, I'm going to embrace this. This is who I am, and it's freeing. I think that that's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful to like find out who you are, know who you are, learn about who you are, and then embrace it and be so empowered by who you are. That's amazing. That's wonderful. Yeah. So, for me, I'm very happy that she was able to find out who she was. She learned who she was, and like I said, is empowered and embraced. And I hope that anybody that learns who they are from this video and is like kind of like scratching their head, you know, like, what am I, or what's wrong with me? Because that's one of the things that I'm sure a bunch of people have felt like when they didn't realize what their which box that they kind of, or which group they kind of are with, right? They may feel like something might be wrong or like something's up with them. And so I hope that anybody else who learns who they are from this video also feels a sense of empowerment and a freeingness of it, you know? But let me know down below, you know, what are your thoughts? How do you fit into this? And then if not, what did you understand? But walking away from this, what did you understand? Let me know. And let's see what's in the next video.